And welcome back. And we're moving into our third segment for today, a conversation with the Kidney Association of Belize. And we have with us at this time the new representatives of the Board of Directors. We have Genevieve Cayetano, who is the Vice President. We have the new President, Oscar Itch. And we have the Treasurer, Ruby Nicholas. Good morning and welcome, and thank you all for being here.
Good morning. Good morning.
Let's begin by talking about the work of the Kidney Association in Belize. I think it's one of those organizations that sometimes we don't really look carefully in terms of what all is being done by this particular group. Talk to us about that.
Okay. Basically, the Kidney Association of Belize have been involved with its main objective to educate people about kidney disease and bring awareness about the disease in a whole and how to prevent it. Gone were the years when we used to assist patients with dialysis. We're at the treatment level whereby you're already diagnosed with the disease. Now we're trying to do a preventative aspect of it instead of you assisting them until they reach the hospital and they have to do dialysis, try to do before. So as long as you're diabetic or hypertensive, we tend to do a lot of tests. We have several health fairs that we do testing so that you could do an early detection, and as long as the disease is being detected early, then it could actually be prevented. Yeah. So by exercise, drinking a lot of water, visiting your doctor, eating healthy, then your kidneys start to gain back its percentage and you slowly become all right again.
Now, let me ask a question here, because we've had Ruby with us several times. So I just want to ask about your own personal involvements, Oscar and Genevieve, how you got involved with the Kidney Association and what prompted you to assume to run for a leadership post.
Well, personally, I've been involved with Kidney Association from a very long time. I was there when Andrea Cox was there. I served as secretary at that time. Then I served on the election committee there at Carl Hirschner Memorial Hospital. Okay. Then I also serve as education coordinator and now vice president. Yeah. In the beginning, I got involved due to my sister, the kidney patient Alashika Beiser, who is our friend, our very close friend. And due to that, I got involved in that and I get to love it. I got to enjoy working with kidney patients. Okay, and I see the need, how important it is to educate the community. So therefore, I got involved with the education coordinator part where we traveled around the country, educating students, educating patients, educating all the workforce. Like presently, we have launched that initiative last year where we went to the different organizations and educate the different employees of the different organizations. So that's why I got involved.
How do you teach people? Internal organs in general, other than our heart, we don't pay attention to. And I think, we hear about kidney care, kidney health. How do you teach people about understanding the role of the kidney and the importance of doing what is necessary to ensure that it's functioning well?
Well, when we go around, we usually have a PowerPoint presentation where we actually show them where the kidney is located and we show them exactly what they need to do to take care of the kidney. We actually show them a real kidney, how it looks healthy and how it looks unhealthy. And I think that also catch their attention. Habits that we have that is not healthy for us, that all too. Some of the symptoms and signs of kidney disease is very important for them to know, because some of the signs and symptoms, you notice that it tend to links with other diseases.
So you may not think it's your kidney?
You might not think it's your kidney, like for example, nausea, swelling of the feet. We might say, oh, we are standing too long, bitterness in the mouth. We might say, oh, we have bilious, we need a purge. But this is our kidney talking to us, telling us, you know what, hey, I need to be tested. Yeah. So when we go around and we talk to the different employees and they learn about the different symptoms and different signs, then they say, okay, I'm going to get tested. Yeah. Okay.
Oscar, let's talk about your prior engagement with the Kidney Association.
Actually, I had my grandfather who was diagnosed with kidney disease in 2011, and in 2012 he passed away. In 2013 I met Miss Ruby. I started as a volunteer, assisting basically the runnings of the office. I was going to the university and I used to work during the night and I used to school during the day, and I had time during the day, so I would go to the association office and I would do work, assist them basically duties of the office, and I fell in love with it. it was good. I felt good visiting the patients, talking to them. We visited several organizations. We did educational talks, and it was not something I believe that I was into. So I got into it, and that same year in November, I was selected as the treasurer. I served from 2013 to 28th of January this year, where I was nominated and selected as the president. It's been a wonderful experience. I've met people from all walks of life, from the all the districts, even doctors from abroad, so many people. And the education that you actually get from it is overwhelming.
Yeah.
And you learn a lot so that you could actually disseminate to other people. And that is the main thing that we try to do. We have been doing several educational talks to people whereby we see the different changes that they do. And when they implement it into their life, they actually come back and say, it's been a life-changing.
Yeah. I know there has been a move to look at the preventative and early detection. The challenges when it comes to kidney disease in this country are very serious and very costly. Once you lose function of your kidney and you get placed on dialysis, for many people this is the beginning of a very difficult journey. How have you all learned to work with these patients, understanding that they're then, if it's full failure, they're coming into 3 sessions per week, finding the finances if they can't get it through the organization and the Ministry of Health, and just the complete change in their life that will take place? How do you work with them? How do you help to build hope? How do you keep them going and use that example to get others to take better care of their kidneys?
What do we normally do is that when a patient is recently diagnosed with kidney disease, the hardest thing for them is to actually accept that they have to now do hemodialysis and they have to live on that for the rest of their lives. And that is the acceptance part of it, is whereby they tend to find it difficult. So as an association, we do family visit with them. We encourage that the entire family come together and we talk to them.
Yeah.
One of the main things is that they need the support of their family. As long as the patients they have the support of the family, they tend to adapt to it very much easily.
Okay.
But if we have found patients that they're just alone, maybe just their wife is being diagnosed and they just have the husband, and just 2 of them, they find it difficult because the husband have to stop work, tend to take care of the wife. So now you are very limited on resources, and you stop work, you're more limited now. So that is the problem. You find yourself, you're having problems with kidney disease, having problems with finding the funds to actually pay the dialysis, and then trying to find funds to actually survive, for food, for bills, because the bills
And medications.
and the medications. Because it's not just about doing hemodialysis, you have to take different other medications to try to assist with raising your blood level, because one of the things, as you recently diagnosed, your blood level tends to go down, and new patients need a lot of blood. During dialysis, they will do 2-3 pints, and that is in every session. So they have to find donors to assist them with blood.
Yeah.
There
are a lot of challenges.
Yes, it's a lot of challenges.
And a lot of people don't know.
There, a few years ago, if memory serves me well, there was a push to raise awareness on the situation of receiving dialysis treatment locally and the cost of doing so. And if I'm not mistaken, coming out of that move was a highlight on how costly it is to be able to access and to be able to receive treatment in Belize. Has there been any changes in that area in terms of people being able to access the facilities here and be able to affordably do so?
Well, what happens is that years ago, the dialysis ranged from $450 to $750, and that created a domino effect where it impacted the patients, and majority of them unfortunately passed away because they were unable to sustain the financial impact of such an increase. Recently, like a year ago, it has gone down to between the range of 200 to 240, and that's just dialysis alone. And remember that they need 3 dialysis per week. Now, although it has gone down, it's still too costly, because when you have an average of the costs of dialysis For the month, it ranges from 2,000 to 2,500 a month. And that's just for one patient. And the average individual earnings is far way less than that.
Yeah.
So what a lot of the patients would do is to only take one a week, and then it becomes a health risk for them. So although there has been a lot of strides, changes, it has not been so affordable for patients, so the challenges continues.
Well, here's the thing. The Ministry of Health offers dialysis. They cover the cost of dialysis for some patients if they qualify. The Kidney Association tries to assist those
Yes.
who aren't getting assistance from the Ministry of Health.
Yes.
What is your selection? That's such a difficult scenario to be in, to have to make the selection of those who have been turned down or didn't meet the qualifications, not turned down for the Ministry of Health one. And you also have to do a selection process as well. How do you work with that community? And even in terms of perhaps putting them in contact with people who can help them with the funds?
Well, we have done several strategies, and we also recognize that we are in need of other stakeholders who join forces with us. Evidently, without funding, we are unable to function, and that's the bottom line. That's the reason why you hear from us so often. We knock on the same organization's door so frequently, because without funding, we cannot function. We also have been approaching the government to try to relook at their way of handling the dialysis patients and try to see what more they can do. But again, that's another slow process. So until that is resolved, our commitment to dialysis patients is that once you're newly diagnosed, we would provide you with 2 dialysis.
Okay.
Once we have the funding, we then extend it to more than 2. And that has been our challenges. We do not do a selection.
Oh, you don't do sustained?
We don't do.
So you help them with the beginning?
With the beginning. Once you're new, we assist you with the beginning. But we do have patients who are critical. We do assist. We have patients who come to our door and ask and ask and ask again, and we do try. But because of the cost of kidney disease, it's very challenging to say we will help sustainably with one patient continuously.
What is the prevalence of renal disease in the country? I think that is one of the other things that isn't really spoken of much in terms of the numbers of people who are living with kidney disease.
Well, what is happening is that as an association, we don't have a true picture nationwide what the prevalence is. And that's what we're fighting to try and get statistics together in order for us to provide to the media, to the public. What we have done is whatever patients come to our door, we try to record that statistics, but we know for ourselves that it's more than that, because we have patients traveling to Guatemala to do dialysis. We have patients who are under-detected, meaning then they're being diagnosed by the doctor that they need to do dialysis, but they do not come forward because they have made a commitment that I will not do dialysis. And we have patients who have been at that stage whereby they know that they're at risk, but they stay away. So that is something that we would need the assistance from the actual Ministry of Health to do a statistics on the true prevalence of kidney disease.
The risk factor for the general population of Belize is high, though, because we have so much cases of diabetes.
And hypertension.
And hypertension, thank you. Now, moving away from, it is such a heartbreaking conversation to talk about how people struggle with renal disease, with kidney disease, and having to, when they've been put on dialysis, having to maintain that for the rest of their lives, unless they can afford a kidney transplant or have an opportunity for a kidney transplant. So that's why you have really pushed forward with testing and kidney health. So let's talk about two things. First of all, how does one do a kidney test, and when should we do it? Let's start with that part. Kidney function test.
We have basically two ways that the normally doctor would recommend. Either do a blood test whereby they check your creatinine in your blood, or you do a urine test. And that's basically how they go about. And then to verify, they do an ultrasound. As long as you do that, we recommend that if you do it and your readings are just probably a 0.3 high or a 0.1 high, then you start to do your exercise, and another 3 months you do it again to see the difference. Because we've met throughout the years, we've done our health fairs, and we find people with high readings or creatinine. We normally at the health fairs we just do the blood test. It's pretty much easier, and we do the creatinine and the bone. And when the creatinine and the bone comes either high or both high, we would give them the recommendations and tell them, you know, you need to exercise, eat healthy, drink a lot of water. And next 3 months they come, we do the test, and we notice that the levels go down, and they tend to encourage. So they start to adapt that change so that they ensure that those readings keep low. Mainly if they're hypertensive or diabetic.
It's so difficult in a sense, though, for most Belizeans, and this is anecdotal. This has nothing to do as in an evidence-based position, but it would seem that for the most part, Belizeans have problems drinking water. It's easier for us to drink soft drink, ideal, juice, as opposed to picking up a bottle of water, having a few glasses, and replenishing that way.
Yeah, and that's why we tend to encourage people, because I know people for a fact that I work with, and I tell them to drink water, and they can't drink a glass of water. They would sip it.
It tastes bad. I mean,
some people generally don't like to drink the water because then they have to get up and go to the bathroom often. So you find out that when we go around, and we did the tour for many companies, many places that did that, many organizations, and we talked to the employees, a lot of them raised their hands because we asked them, how often do you go, how often do you drink water? And we found out when we went and did that tour, we found out that a lot of them have that situation. They don't want to go to the bathroom. They can't go to the bathroom so often. I'm a teacher, and we find out that even being a teacher, sometimes you don't want to go to the bathroom so often, leave your class alone. So we tend to drink less glass of water.
That's
and
true.
it's general, it's over the base in every organization.
Now, water is a key part
Yes.
in maintaining kidney health. What else should we be doing? If I'm not diabetic and I'm not hypertensive, but I also don't want to have a diagnosis of kidney disease later on in my life, what should I be doing now to ensure my kidney health? Test.
Exercise. You need to exercise because creatinine is produced by the muscles, and as long as the muscles are, it'll be okay. The creatinine won't increase just from today to the other day. Increase over a period of time. Right, so hence the reason why exercising is very important, and what you eat and what you drink, because many of us, and we Belizeans, we like Belgian stout, we like Guinness, and we like coffee, and those are the things that we don't might see it affecting our kidneys, but you have to understand that our kidneys tend to work harder to try to strain that black stout and that black Guinness and that black coffee, right? And we put strain on our kidneys ourselves, because we tend to, when we drink beer, it kind of dehydrate us, so we tend to urinate a lot. So we're working our kidneys for no need. So that, and one of the main things is actually eating fruits and vegetables, because fruit and vegetables is full of water. Right? So eating it assists a lot. So like somebody said, less meat and more fruit and vegetables.
Okay. Well, you guys are now officially on the board for a 2-year term. Are there any specific priorities that you have identified collectively that you would like to take to organization?
One of our main projects for this year, for this term, is we're trying to build our own office, whereby we have less expense on paying rent. We've been paying rent from the inception of the organization. So this year our project is to build ourselves a small office, and so that we could have our own space, and we know over a period of time the next presidency come, he have somewhere already to work. So the focus would be now not on finding funds to pay our office rent, but to assist kidney patients more. So.
Also, last year we went on a tour, and we went throughout the district. Actually, we went to sell raffle tickets, but while we were doing that, we managed to meet a lot of kidney patients at PG. We went to Corozal, we went to Orange Walk, we went to Dangriga, we also went to the Cayo district. And so this new administration also would like to extend ourselves out to the districts to get to know and meet more patients and get to help other people in the districts.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming in and having this first conversation with us. We appreciate you bringing this very important information, and I'm very sure we'll have you guys back again.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you too.
We're going to go ahead and take that final break now. When we come back, we'll have our wrap-up, so stay tuned.